Good afternoon, welcome to the Glens Falls Water and Sewer Commissioner meeting for Monday, August 2nd. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First part of business is public participation. Anyone from the public that would like to address the Water and Sewer Commissioners, step forward and we'll listen to you. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go to billing issues.
Okay,
Steve, you want to go through that?
yeah. We have,
Yeah.
a 21 Union Street request for relief from a large bill. And that's $1,233.30. And recent bills have been around $200, and that's the relief they requested now. We took another reading, and it seems to be running at the same rate, about 9,700 cubic feet in less than 30 days. And we've called the property owner and advised them to get a plumber to check the toilets in the homes, and still hoping for a leak. Usually pays on time. And they sent in a request here, and they said that the faucet blew off in geyser style while they were at work for a 12-hour shift. And so they have a picture of a broken faucet that they sent us. It looks like the ceramic cartridge is broken in half inside of the control handle. Which I have several pictures of that. But the bill still seems to be running higher than usual, so we still think there's some kind of a problem there. And they're asking either for reduction in the bill to their average usage because of the unfortunate failure of the faucet, or if they could be allowed to make their payments in installments.
Well, I personally don't see much sense in coming to a solution until they find out what the issue is. If there's something, it's the city's fault, so be it. If it's their fault, then so be it there also, I think.
Yeah.
Until we find out what we grant them relief on this now, I mean, they're gonna be back here next month looking for it again because it's still got that kind of water coming, right?
Yeah.
So I think that I'd feel more comfortable
Okay.
tabling the thing and it's a little more
Dave.
issues. I did. That's my feeling, I don't know.
Okay, so is that a motion to table?
Yep.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? We'll table that one. Next one is Scott Stevens from 35 Webster Avenue. You want to go through that, Steve?
Okay.
Are you
well,
Mr. Stevens? Okay.
Want to come up and tell us
Want to
about?
sit at the table here?
Sure.
Okay.
I bought a house on Webster Ave in 2018, and shortly after moving in, my main sewer line backed up into my basement. So I had rooter, somebody come bore the line out. There were roots growing through the ceramic pipe. He said it's probably going to keep happening, and it did happen again the following year. And then this past spring, it happened the third time, and they jackhammered my basement floor, replaced the line from, there was an elbow underneath the basement floor, and they kind of routed it out the side of the house, and then I think they actually sleeved 4-inch PVC inside the old 6-inch ceramic out to the main and put in a clean out there. So I was just wondering if the city of Glens Falls would either cover a portion of that or reimburse me, because the tree that grew through the original soil line is in between the curb and the sidewalk, which I don't believe is my property, and I can't remove the tree or do anything about that, so.
Well,
So he's right, you're right, it is the, a city tree.
yeah.
So do you guys have any thoughts on this?
3,500 was the whole,
The whole job, yep. Not including any of the earlier cleanouts, that was just the replacement job.
Tom, you know anything about this one?
First time hearing about it.
Yeah.
So you hired a subcontractor, because the city, I run the road crew, field operations director, and we'll come in and put that clean out in,
Okay.
and if it's bad from the clean out to the main in the road, we'll replace that with our manpower.
Okay.
I can tell by, you didn't know that.
No, I
Yes, you
didn't.
did.
Yeah.
So no, this is the first time hearing about this case.
It's 35 Webster Avenue? Yeah, yeah, just checking.
I'm sure the tree was probably the majority of the cause.
Yeah. They scoped it before they replaced it, and roots growing through every section, yeah, every 4 feet of the ceramic.
Mhm. So. And did they go all the way out to the main?
Yeah, they
No,
were
it
able
says to the edge of the road.
Yeah, I think they were able to sleeve the PVC inside the ceramic pipe
Uh-huh.
under, without disturbing the sidewalk. They went under the sidewalk and under the curb out. Onto the main.
Yeah, this is to the edge of the road on their proposal.
Okay.
It's IBS.
IBS, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
You have a recommendation, Steve?
well, I recommend that Tom get out and clean out and take a look at our piece of it and see if that's in good shape. But nominally, the portion from the homeowners to the edge of the road is their responsibility. And it's more of a policy decision, recommendation from me, because if you, well, there's a lot of city trees on the sewers out there.
Exactly.
well, you set a precedent like that. I've been there myself a couple of times.
Yeah.
So how about if we table this, Tom, you go out and look and see, check 35 out, come back and report back to us, okay? And then if you wanted, you can come to the next meeting. We'll give you a
Okay.
decision or we'll contact you,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
Yeah, one more question, and this
Yeah.
might be a tree question and not so much a sewer question. When a tree is planted, is there any search for existing lines underneath, or do they just, dig a hole and plop a tree in?
No, they usually search to make sure that they're not, on, a water line or a sewer line.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it seems as though the roots seek out the moisture.
Yeah, that
Well,
makes sense.
the advantage of the newer piping systems is we don't have
Yeah.
a
Seam.
porous joint every 2 or 4 feet like the older pipes. Yeah.
So put it this way, we'll work on it, see what we can come up with.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Next was one that was prior on the table.
Yeah. Okay. Right. All right.
So did you want to talk about that?
Talk about,
Tina Nesver, Mark Monahan, about they're asking for relief of the penalties for the first 2 bills.
oh, yeah.
I believe the total is $147.71.
Yeah. So, that's another one where they say they haven't got their bills, but they were not returned to us. And, they have, so two outstanding bills, January and April. And, that totals $147.71 in penalties.
I don't know. Are we at fault because they didn't receive their mail, or? I don't know where our liability lies again.
So has there been anything since then? Penalties occurred through seven. We just sent out the bills already.
Yeah, we just sent out the most recent bill.
I know that house is under renovation, they're doing extensive renovations in the house, so it's very possible that, you know, somebody could have picked the mail up and thrown it in the trash or something. It's possible I couldn't have received it, I don't know.
Mhm.
They seem like really good people, I met them at the planning board, and you know,
Okay.
they seem sincere and everything, so. I wouldn't have a problem.
You wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion, so moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
That's
Aye.
to relieve the penalties. of
Yes,
the
it's the 147.70. Next is John T. Bryan Mulcahy, whose request for relief was 6170, representing penalties because of his tenants have not paid their rent. Has paid the charges on time since ownership in 2017.
I feel sorry for all the landlords right now.
I do too.
I do too, but I don't wanna set a precedent.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
is there a motion?
I make a motion, Diane.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right, moving on.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, resolutions. Approval of the last meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, is there any questions on the warrant?
I just had one, it's a new name that popped up here, Steve. It's on number 12, and it's an engineering firm that I don't think we've, maybe you guys discussed it in the meeting that I wasn't present.
Where is it?
Right at the
Oh, is
top.
it Gold Engineering?
Yeah.
Right. That's an electrical engineering firm that we use, the
Are
local
we using it for the
firm.
transformer issue?
Yeah, with the
Okay.
transformer and control issue.
Yeah, I figured it was something, but I hadn't seen the name before.
Pretty thorough, and, you know, I'm an electrical engineer myself, but he seemed to do a pretty good job.
You're looking at one, so.
Chief from Greenwich? Goldie? Do you know about Greenwich?
Yeah, he is.
He did a lot of work for me when I was at BART.
Yeah.
He's a very good guy.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Make a motion to approve the
Trust that guy.
warrant.
Okay.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, Steve, discussion, brief discussion on the current project updates.
All right. Maple Walnut project. Moving along pretty well on most of the drainage work, and I believe we're starting the sewer lining work this week. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What's the possibility of end date on that one?
I believe it's October.
October.
Beginning of October.
Yeah. Basically, your first three projects here, Maple Walnut, Dix, and the Henry Street Pump Station improvements. Those should all be done this fall.
Okay.
Dix Avenue, how much more of the water and sewer infrastructure has to be done there? I think we had a few more drainage things to take care of.
There's some drainage on the north side of Dix
Yeah.
Avenue that they're working on. And there's also a ponding issue at Whiteman's main entrance that we are addressing.
Okay, so, then the rest of that project is, only of concern because we all have to drive through the area. But, the curbs and sidewalks on the south side of Dix Avenue are pretty close to complete. and they're working along on the north side now. So, that should be done, probably more in late September if all goes well, right?
Yeah, I think they're targeting late September.
Yeah.
if The weather permits.
Yeah, we just need a couple days without much rain.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice project when it's
Yep.
done.
Okay.
Long time coming.
So, Henry Street pump station improvements, they've done some drainage work going through the Murray Street park there. And actually, we discovered an old catch basin at the low point on Murray Street that had apparently been paved over sometime in the past and rehabilitated as part of this contract. And we put some dry wells in over on Church Street, and done a lot of the sewer lining and rehab work is pretty much done on that job. The next big things that are going to be done there are the new force main for Finch Paper running from Oakland Avenue up to Warren Street, and also the new Henry Street pumping station force main, which is going to run through the park, Murray Street Park, and then cut across up to the hospital receiving entrance. And a lot of that's going to be done with directional drilling. And right now we're working on the new gravity sewer coming down from Hovey Street. And that's a pretty tight area. We had to do some realignments as we found the water main locations were a little bit off from where we thought they were. But they're working their way through there. And again, that part of the work was held up because of muddy conditions and wet weather there. So, but they're they're moving along. And
Steve, is there an issue with, what's, something coming up between the Civic Center and Fishman?
well, that's where we're coming up with that force main.
Yeah, the executive director got pretty nervous about our trees there on the property line.
Yeah.
And somebody came up and looked at it, said they'd take care of it. One of the contractors said they'd
Yeah.
move things over a little bit, and just for trees, so. she
And I
was
think
happy.
we're going to be directional drilling through there, right? Yeah, so
Okay,
it shouldn't be
seems-
too bad. It'll be
She was just nervous about those, there's 2 or 3 trees right there on the line.
yeah. And the arena folks were concerned about some drainage and curbing at the end of Church Street as well, because apparently during some storm conditions, water pops over the end of the
Goes down the
street, runs
stairs.
down into the Civic Center entrance. I'm sorry, the Cool Insuring Arena entrance.
There you go.
And I think we're gonna have to, either with the contractor or with our curb and sidewalk contractor, take care of the curb at the end of the road there. That's a new one, Tom, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it until just now. So, and again, we're anticipating that should be done sometime in October. And it's gonna take a lot of load off of the Henry Street pumping station, and should enable us to keep up better with storm flows there. The Third Ward Storm Sewer Project. So far, we've done a lot of sewer cleaning there. It was pretty difficult and time consuming. And cleaned out. Are they finishing up that one last stretch with the heavy roots in it?
Yes, I haven't been by today, I don't know if they were, you see any activity in Sanford?
Right. So, from Sanford Street, north of that, a lot of that's been cleaned out except for one stretch with some heavy roots in it. They were having trouble removing. And we've also got a lot of TV reports in already on that.
So Chester to Sanford is done already, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Except for that one stretch.
Except for that last run
Yeah.
from the backyards to Sanford, they're having some trouble getting through there, but a lot of root intrusions. But
But they're working on it.
They're working on it, they're coming up with another method to get after them.
Okay,
So-
great. So it's mainly, one of the biggest problems is obviously the sediment, but also tree roots.
Right.
Okay.
Now, we think this will help the situation
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
but we also feel that it's quite likely that we have similar conditions running north from there up to Bowman through a lot of that stretch.
Right.
So, we hope this will give the people there some relief,
Yeah.
but we know that there are other problems that we need to look into.
Okay,
There you
good.
go. Now, Elm Street. We had a conceptual design for the stormwater there, prepared as part of the I&I study that Arcadis did. And Creighton Manning is working on that, and they're evaluating the grades and the routing a little bit. And they're proposing a little change in the routing of the stormwater to divert some of that into a storm sewer on Hudson Avenue, to take a little bit of the load off down on Park Street and make the grades work better. So I've had some meetings with them on that, and they're gonna give a little bit of a presentation to the Downtown Revitalization Committee tomorrow on
Yes.
the streetscaping work there,
Okay,
so.
thank you.
All right. And one other thing that I have penciled in here that I wanted to bring up, if I may, which is the drinking water source protection study.
Something we always like to talk about.
Me too. It's almost like a hobby. We've received a fully funded program with DEC to do a drinking water, source water protection study. And Chazen is being paid by DEC to do that study. So we're working with them on that, and we're providing them with information about the watershed and the contributory watersheds to the reservoirs, and what property the city owns. Also, we have collected, with the help of Warren County Soil and Water Conservation District, a lot of baseline information about water quality in the reservoirs. Nitrates, chlorophyll levels, which lets us correlate with the amount of algae in the reservoir, the conductivity, temperature, and we've done some vertical profiles as well in the reservoirs. So we're sharing that information with Chazen. But we need to set up a stakeholder group to discuss this project, to support the project with Chazen. And Chazen had a proposal of, they said city engineer, I say water and sewer superintendent. They proposed the city forester, but I think like foresters and Warren County Soil and Water, they could be either part of the group or they could be support staff for the group.
Did we pay them a stipend every year anyway, right?
The forester,
No, the Warren County.
the Warren County, yeah.
So they could represent. us.
Well, this is not part of what
Different
we're
scope.
paying them for, but as taxpayers in Warren County, we all pay them.
Right.
So, and they're very helpful, and
Yeah.
we've had a good relationship with them. You know, the question is, who do we want to have on that stakeholder group? Should the mayor be on that group? Should we have a commissioner or commissioners on that group?
I think we should have a commissioner.
Yeah.
And when is this gonna take place?
Well, we're gonna have to have a few meetings on it.
You should have the mayor and a commissioner.
Okay. mayor, commissioner. I'll put down the superintendent. And do you wanna ask Warren County if they'd like to be part of the committee, or just to help out?
The Warren County Board of Supervisors?
No, Warren County Soil and Water
Oh,
Conservation.
yeah, that, I can ask them.
Okay. And I'm sure our forester will be helpful as
Okay.
needed.
All right,
Yeah.
just tell us when you.
Does that sound good to
schedule
you
a meeting.
guys?
Yep.
So, which commissioner should we have?
Well, I think that we draw straws.
Have
But you make an
straws.
appointment.
Oh, yeah, make point, Woody Green.
See what happens when you open your freaking mouth?
It always sounds very conservation minded, but Woody Green, yeah.
Elwood, Commissioner Elwood.
Oh,
Green.
Commissioner Elwood Green. Commissioner E. Green.
Well, so much for trying to push him into a corner, right?
Okay. All right, so we'll let you know when we're gonna have some meetings in the future, and
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
and so, does that need to be a resolution, or are we good?
No, we don't need a resolution.
Okay. All right. So, that's what I have right now for projects and stuff. Thank you.
Do we have anything under personnel?
Um,
We're gonna go executive session.
Yeah, so, I think we're getting staffed up right now at the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
And we're doing well there, but otherwise, we're good.
Okay. I look for a motion to go in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, us. So we're in executive session. So.
figured it was that, it's not kind of.
Okay, motion to come back into executive session, or out of executive session.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Okay, so we're back, and Commissioner Green, you had something you wanted to
Yeah, in light of
start
the discussion last week about trespassing on the trails, well, Woody and I took the opportunity yesterday to do our walk on the Halfway Brook Trail.
on Halfway Brook?
Yeah, and there's quite a bit of trespassing going on. I took the liberty to take some pictures.
Okay.
There's a bunch of them there. And the gates are in. All the gates are in, but they're doing much this
Oh,
time.
they're in along the trail.
Yeah.
But they were supposed to put gates at other entrances.
There's a few in, down toward the reservoir. There's a couple in there, you can see back off in the woods, the rest of it isn't.
Yeah, they're supposed to be along the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think those are in yet.
But there's, and if you look at the tire tracks, they're not bicycles, they're motorcycles. But
Okay, we'll pass these on to the
Aren't we
Sheriff's
supposed
Department.
to have a joint meeting of that committee annually?
Yeah.
Yeah, and have we given Queensberry notice of the issues?
Yeah,
Steve did, yeah.
You did? Okay.
About the gates, but, then we decided to take a walk on the trail and,
Yep.
I mean, the trail is clean. There's no litter on it
No,
no,
whatsoever.
it looks really good. I walked it myself.
Yeah.
But they're moving the rocks and you can see the tire tracks. They're pretty fresh tire tracks too, so.
So we'll pass these on to John, and Steve and I'll have another discussion with
And I
him.
think there's one picture of there with one gate near Powder Road.
Yep,
And you can see where it's growing over, so they're not using that one. So, I mean, the rest of them are all worn down.
Yeah, when our loggers were working out there, they had some trouble with people who were leaving the trail and going into the area where they were actively felling trees.
So that's good.
And we did talk to Queensbury about that. They posted a bunch of signs and they had some people out there, I guess, a little bit. And that did stop it at least while we were logging.
I don't know how you stop it.
You're never gonna stop it.
no.
Enforcement
We
or
could
something,
just,
you'd have to
yeah,
get somebody out there
we'll
to
talk
control
again
it.
about enforcement with Queensbury
Yeah.
and go from there.
You want to try and schedule a meeting of that committee?
Yes, why don't you send him another email, try to schedule it. That's Mr. Green, Mr. Enderberry, and yourself.
I mean, it's being used, it's serving the purpose we intended. I mean,
No, it's a nice trail.
It is a real nice
It is.
trail.
I think the signage is good. Nobody, I don't think people are reading the signs. Stay off the trail.
And unfortunately, they appear to be using the new nice parking areas as an access point to
Yeah, it's a-
park and then get in.
Okay, anything else anybody have?
Our lab isn't working, doing outside work.
No. We had staffing issues with the lab. We think we're getting that under control now, but also with the COVID, pandemic, we were very interested with the COVID and the pandemic, which is still ongoing. We're pretty interested in not having a lot of visitors that we don't need here.
Yeah, let them do.
Does Queensbury test water private?
I don't know if they're currently doing any water tests for private individuals. We send them out to the commercial lab.
Yeah.
Right now, that's what we're doing.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So we'll
Check.
All in favor?
Thank
We're adjourned.